Have you ever longed for something more? Have you ever felt a yearning deep within your soul, a desire that goes beyond the mundane routines of daily life? It's a feeling that whispers to you in the quiet moments, urging you to seek something greater, something more profound, something deeper than the everyday. This longing is not just a fleeting emotion, it's a call from the depths of your being. It's a reminder that you were created for more than just existing. You were made to thrive, to experience life in its fullest, most vibrant form. Our hearts are wired for connection, for a love that transcends this world. We are not meant to walk this journey alone. We crave relationships that go beyond the surface, connections that touch our very souls. This is because we are designed to be in communion with others and, most importantly, with our Creator. We were made for a personal encounter with God. This encounter is not a distant, abstract concept. It's a real, tangible experience that can transform your life. It's about meeting the one who knows you better than you know yourself, who loves you unconditionally, and who has a purpose and plan for your life. He is the Father who knows your name, the shepherd who guides your path. Just as a shepherd cares for his sheep, leading them to green pastures and still waters, so does God care for you. He knows every detail of your life, every joy, every sorrow, and He is always there, guiding you, protecting you, and providing for you. This encounter is not about rituals or rules, it's about relationship. It's not about following a set of religious practices or adhering to a list of do's and don'ts. It's about opening your heart to a loving relationship with God, where you can be yourself, where you can be honest and vulnerable, and where you can find true acceptance and love. It's about opening your heart to the one who loves you most. It's about letting go of your fears, your doubts, and your insecurities, and allowing God's love to fill every corner of your heart. It's about trusting Him with your life, knowing that He has your best interests at heart. It's about discovering the peace, joy, and purpose that only He can give. In a world that often feels chaotic and uncertain, God's love is a constant source of peace and joy. It's a love that brings clarity and purpose to your life, helping you to see beyond the challenges and struggles, and to embrace the beauty and wonder of each day. In a world filled with noise and distractions, it's easy to lose sight of this truth. We are constantly bombarded with messages and demands that pull us in different directions, leaving us feeling overwhelmed and disconnected. But amidst the chaos, there is a still, small voice that calls us back to what truly matters. But God is always near, always calling us closer. No matter how far we may wander, no matter how lost we may feel, God is always there waiting for us with open arms. He is always ready to welcome us back, to remind us of His love, and to guide us on the path He has set before us. He waits patiently for us to turn to Him, to seek His face, to experience the fullness of His love. This is the heart that seeks, a heart that is open, willing, and ready to embrace the love and grace that God offers. It's a journey of faith, a journey of discovery, and a journey of transformation. And it all begins with a single step, a step towards the one who loves you more than you can ever imagine. Seeking God begins with honesty. It's about being real with ourselves and with Him. We often carry burdens, fears, and doubts that weigh us down. But in the presence of God, we can lay them all down. We can be vulnerable and open, knowing that He welcomes us with open arms. It's admitting our need for Him, acknowledging our weaknesses and imperfections. We don't have to have it all together. In fact, it's in our brokenness that His strength is made perfect. When we come to Him, we can be honest about our struggles, our failures, and our fears. He understands and He cares deeply. It's coming to Him just as we are, with open hands and an open heart. We don't need to put on a facade or pretend to be something we're not. God sees us in our entirety and He loves us just the same. With open hands, we signify our willingness to receive His blessings, His guidance, and His love. We don't have to pretend or perform. He sees our hearts, knows our thoughts, and loves us unconditionally. In a world where we often feel the need to prove ourselves, it's comforting to know that with God, we can simply be. He knows our deepest desires, our hidden fears, and our unspoken prayers. When we come to Him with humility, we open ourselves to His transforming grace. Humility is not about thinking less of ourselves, but about recognizing our need for Him. It's about understanding that we can't do it all on our own. In our humility, we find His strength, His peace, and His guidance. He longs to meet us in our brokenness, to heal our wounds, and to make us whole. Our brokenness is not a barrier to His love, but an invitation for His healing. He sees our pain, our scars, and our struggles, and He offers us His comfort, His peace, and His restoration. He doesn't expect perfection, just sincerity. In our sincere seeking, we find His presence. In our honest prayers, we find His answers, and in our open hearts, we find His love. So let us come to Him with open hands and open hearts, ready to receive all that He has for us. In the quiet moments when the world fades away, we can hear His voice. It's a gentle whisper, a still small voice that speaks to our hearts. It's not always loud or dramatic, but it's always there, guiding us, comforting us, and leading us closer to Him. Finding this stillness takes practice. It means quieting our minds, letting go of our worries, and simply being present in the moment. God speaks to us in many ways, through His Word, through nature, through the words of others, and through the quiet promptings of our hearts. He speaks through the beauty of a sunrise, the laughter of a child, the kindness of a stranger. As we learn to recognize His voice, we'll begin to see His hand in our lives. We'll see how He guides our steps, provides for our needs, and surrounds us with His love. Section 5. Finding Him in the familiar. I remember a time when I felt lost and alone. It was a period in my life where everything seemed uncertain, and I was searching for answers. I would often find myself wandering through the park, hoping to find some clarity in the midst of nature's beauty. I had been praying for guidance, but I didn't hear anything. My prayers felt like they were bouncing off the ceiling, and I began to wonder if God was even listening. The silence was deafening, and it only added to my sense of isolation. I felt like God was silent. I questioned my faith and wondered if I was doing something wrong. Why wasn't He answering me? What was I missing? These thoughts consumed me, and I felt more lost than ever. Then one day I was reading my Bible and a verse jumped out at me. It was a verse I had read many times before, but this time, it felt different. It was as if the words were highlighted just for me and they spoke directly to my heart. It was like God was speaking directly to my heart. In that moment, I felt a sense of peace wash over me. The words were simple, yet profound, and they reminded me that I was not alone. God was with me, even in the silence. He reminded me of His love and His faithfulness. I realized that He had been there all along, guiding me in ways I hadn't noticed. His presence was in the familiar, in the everyday moments that I had taken for granted. He gave me peace and direction. It wasn't a loud, dramatic revelation, but a gentle whisper that reassured me. I began to see His hand in the small things, in the beauty of nature, in the kindness of strangers, and in the quiet moments of reflection. It wasn't a dramatic revelation, but it was exactly what I needed at that moment. Sometimes we look for God in the extraordinary, but often He is found in the familiar. In the simple, everyday moments, He speaks to us, reminding us of His constant presence and unwavering love. The Bible is filled with stories of people who encountered God. Moses encountered God in the burning bush. David encountered God in the fields as a shepherd. Mary Magdalene encountered the risen Christ at the tomb. Each encounter was unique and personal. Each one transformed their lives. God longs to write a love story in your life too. He longs to reveal Himself to you in ways you never imagined. Take a step towards Him today. Spend time in His Word. Talk to Him in prayer. Listen for His voice. He is waiting for you with open arms. Don't be afraid to draw near. Don't let fear or doubt hold you back. He desires a relationship with you more than you could ever know. He is waiting to reveal His love to you. He is waiting to fill you with His peace. He is waiting to guide your steps. Your encounter with God awaits. Open your heart to Him today. May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace as you trust in Him. May you overflow with hope by the power of the Holy Spirit. Go in peace, knowing that He is with you always.